a very, very fantastic and wonderful teacher here with us. I am so excited to introduce Rabbi Hannah Kapnik Ashar. Rav Hannah is here. You're going to see her bio in the chat, but she is the founder and director of Rahmana, that is a women's community of spiritual practice that we have been in conversation with about before, just watching it grow and blossom and become something so beautiful and powerful, and it has a legend of its own. It is so amazing. She's also the director of faculty at the Bronfman Fellowship and has rabbinic ordination from Hadar. Please, please don't let this be the last time that you interact with her. Follow her and find her. She does beautiful, beautiful teaching, and I'm so excited that she's here to light candles with us tonight and teach us a little bit of her Torah. Thank you so much, Rav Hannah, for being here.
Thank you so much, Ariella. It's so beautiful to feel your warmth and your presence even across the miles. Thank you. I'm just enjoying looking around and seeing your faces, and want to invite you also to take in the other beautiful people who are gathered here. Just feeling the way that that we can kind of be light for each other, and seeing each other here just feels so beautiful. Before I light, I just wanted to offer a kind of intention to share a beautiful teaching that I learned from one of my teachers, Rabbi Michael Rosenberg, that he brought in a teaching from Rabbi Akiva Eger. And in it, he's talking about the blessing that we say when we light candles for Chanukah. And he talks about how there's a kind of set of blessings that we say that have the phrase that's quite common among brachot, where we say, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, blessing the one who gave us mitzvot. And in many of the mitzvot, in many of the brachot that we make, we go on to say things like, al netilat yadayim, or al netilat lulav. Excuse me, Ayla, is it an emergency? Okay, so come back in 15 minutes. Thank you. My beautiful daughter is so happy to be together on Chanukah, and I'll join her in a moment. Ayla, I'm teaching, my dear. Okay, I'll come on soon. You can start without me. In this teaching from Rabbi Akiva Eger, he points to a conversation in the Rosh, another halachic compilation, where the Rosh is talking about how among these mitzvot, we have some where the infinitive form of the verb is used. So we say things like, Asher kitchan mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihitatef atzitzit, or lehaniach tefillin, or lahadlik ner shel Chanukah, where we, instead of saying that we're commanded on an action, we talk about being commanded to be doing an action. And that lighting candles of Chanukah is one of those mitzvot. There's just a handful of them where we say that kind of blessing. And he says that when we make that kind of blessing, that it's a kind of cue for us that this mitzvah is about abiding in the mitzvah. That we're supposed to wear it the way that we would wear tefillin or wear tzitzit, that we wear a talit, that we kind of wear the candles. It's like we sit here and let it wrap around us while we're in this moment here. And so I want to invite you into, he uses this phrase, shihui mitzvah, the kind of dwelling in a mitzvah. So that's what we're going to do together now. I want to invite you, before we light, to take a few exhales. We'll do 3 big exhales together. Just creating some space together. Ready to bring in some light. I want to offer that as we light together, bringing in this first night of Chanukah, that we may this bring light within our homes, within ourselves, and in our families. May it bring light to us and our neighbors, to our people and our people's neighbors, to those who are in captivity. May this be a time of freedom. As we have in our parsha that Yosef is taken out of the pit, may this be the time of moving to freedom. I invite you, if you have Kindles with you, to get out your shamash. I invite you to just hold your light up, if you can hold your light up to the camera, and we can see a few lights around. Just going to change my view so I can see everyone. Yeah, so good to see you all. Ariella, if you're able to put on the brachot for those who would like to be able to see them, that would be great. So we'll make the first bracha and then light, and then make the next two brachot. We get to say Shachianu tonight because it's our first time lighting for Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim l'avoteinu bayamim ha'el b'azman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'achianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Ma'oz tu Yeshuati l'chana l'shavech tikon b'tefilati v'sham toda nezabech et achim nebeach mitzvah nebeach azegmor v'ashir mizmor Chanukah tamid ve'ach azegmor v'ashir mizmor Chanukah tamid ve'ach. Ariella, would you scroll back up one more time to that Hanerot Halalu? Nerot Halalu she'anu madlikin al hanisim והנפלאות והתשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על ידי כהניך הקדושים בכל 8 ימי החנוכה. הנרות הללו קודש הם. These candles are holy, ואין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם, and we do not have permission to use them. אלא לראותם בלבד, rather, just to look at them. כדי להודות ולהלל לשמך הגדול על ניסיך ועל נפלאותיך ועל ישועתך. In order to praise and to sing out to your name, your great name, and to your miracles and your wonders and your redemption, your deliverances. Amen. Thank you. I can see, Amy, you're still singing. I love it. There's many beautiful, beautiful Chanukah songs, and I hope you'll continue singing. I wanted, while we're sitting here, an Aaron, that light's so beautiful. Thank you. While we're here by the light of the candles, I wanted to, not by the light of the candles because we're not using them, but just as we're enjoying the light of the candles, I wanted to share a short teaching with you. And this is a teaching from Yemima Avital, who, my dear friend and teacher and Chavruta Naama Sadan, has shared a lot of Yemima's Torah in the SVIVAH community. Yemima was a healer and a teacher living in Israel. She was born in 1920 and lived until 1999 or 2000. And her Torah very often speaks to the internal landscape and relationships. And I have been very drawn to, she has many Chanukah teachings. She really treated as Chanukah as a time to do deep spiritual work. There is no sitting back, the enjoying of the lights is not to sit back and to kick back. It is to be present and to be more awake. And I want to share one of the images that she offers, which feels to me like it fits beautifully with this teaching we learned from the Rosh about dwelling in the mitzvah, being in the place of the light we've just lit. I'm going to read this teaching. Yemima taught orally, and her students wrote down her teachings, and there's a practice of continuing to learn her teachings in an oral way. And I'll just invite you to listen and to hear what lands with you. You're welcome to write things down. You can either write phrases right into the chat if you'd like to kind of share this sparked something for you. You can make note of it on paper and pen, or you can just let it move over you, wash over you. I'll read this piece and then I'll point out a couple of pieces that feel meaningful to me about it. This is called Chanukah, Shalhevet Ha'olah Me'aleh. Chanukah, the flame that reaches up from herself, or by itself. Ha'adam ratz v'rotzeh, ach magia lahasig ma'at. A person runs and desires, but only comes to hold or to grasp little. In bizbuz energia b'shanim ikarot v'arukot. Wasting energy in years that are dear and long. B'pizur medamyan lichbosh olam. While scattered or spread, we can imagine that we can conquer the world. Zadei TV, im zalo b'pizur gadol. It's natural enough if we're not too scattered. Ki az hu b'pizur meha-echuyot shenitnu lo. Because then, if we're too scattered, we come to be scattered from the qualities that were given to us. Koach shemitpashet midai hu chalash. Power, strength that is too spread is weakness. Ha'adam hayoshev babayit bimkomo ze shaveh bracha. A person who is sitting in their home, in their place, that is worthy of a bracha, of a blessing. To really be here in our place, beside our candles, that is worthy of a blessing. Hitpatchuto hi tnu'a nacha al mekoma. Development is a resting movement in one's place. Developing is a resting movement on one's place. It's not in one's place in the way that phrase works in English, where it's like about keeping yourself contained, being on one's place. It's like we're connected to our root. Adam yoshev bebeito v'sho'ev et simchato me'etzem heyoto. A person sits in their home and draws their joy from the very fact of their being, of their aliveness, and feels themselves alive and feels pulsing within them. ככל שנבנים נעשים מתומצתים יותר. The more we develop, the more we become condensed, the more we become concentrated, focused. כמו לתפוס מקום קטן, as if to grasp or to find ourselves in a small place or on a small place, that our place becomes more concentrated. ובתמצות יש ריכוז הכוח, and in this kind of concentration there is a focusing of strength. מקומו של האדם המתפתח משתנה, כבר לא תופס מקום במרחב בפיזור, מצטמצם עד שתופס לגובה, מתחבר לחיבורו בניגון ותפילה. The place of a person who's developing changes. They no longer need to be grasping a big, spread out, scattered place, but they can be condensed until they can reach upward. Connecting in their connection through song and through prayer. Kohl שנעשה באור עולה עד למעלה. Everything that is done in light reaches upward. מקומו ממנו הוא בא, to the place from which we come. And though in this piece Yemima doesn't describe a flame, I think she is describing one, because she talks about being scattered. This is a makom pizor, a scattered or wide place. And then she talks about having a very condensed place, but reaching upward. I think that looks just like a flame, the shape she's describing. So as we're looking at the Chanukah lights, we have this model of having one kind of condensed, rooted place and not allowing the upward stretch. And Aluma Lev, who was one of Yemima's students and published this book, she wrote about this piece, Uva Gova, Yesh lanu tamid makom, that when we're growing upward, there's always space for us. We always have space when we're growing upward. Wanna bless us with this image of being in our home as the place where we can draw joy and the place that it is fitting to bless on our being in this one place, in this place where we are at this moment. And the beauty of Chanukah as the fact that we celebrate not only starting when the days are getting longer again or when the nights are getting lighter again, that we're past the solstice, but we're still moving toward Rosh Chodesh of Tevet, which is the new moon of Tevet, which is the 6th night of Chanukah. That's the darkest night of the year. We're still moving toward that darkness. And yet we start celebrating now. We don't only start celebrating when we're moving toward the brighter nights again. And actually letting us take that as the invitation to enjoy these dark nights. That we get to celebrate being here in this time of darkness and bringing a contained, just a little light can go such a long way here. So I'll invite us to sit together for a moment quietly now, just enjoying the light, another moment together. And then we'll have the opportunity to introduce yourself if you want to stay another minute and say hello. But for now, just enjoying the light together to luxuriate in it a bit more. May we merit to feel the concentration of our strength and power, and to see beauty and light abounding. Thank you. Happy Chanukah.
That was so beautiful, Hannah. Thank you so much for helping us open Hanukkah and walk into Hanukkah together, holding the light, celebrating the light. And what you taught was actually such a beautiful pull over just now, the idea of honoring the darkest place that we're in. Our teachers from our most recent Her Torah spent a lot of time with us trying to give us tools or a perspective to hold the dark or to understand the dark and to not be afraid of the dark and to honor what it can give us. So thank you so much for this invitation into this play and dance between the light and the dark, and for lighting the dark tonight with us. This is so nice. It's so beautiful to be with everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I promise I will stay. I know that people have places to be, so don't feel held, including you, Rav Hannah, who have beautiful people who need you. But I want to just remind everybody that we know it's a crazy busy time of year, but we are going to come together again for the 8th night of Hanukkah too, and we would love to see you again also. So please come and join us then. I promise to bombard you with emails to remind you. But we would love to close out Hanukkah with you too. And to save the date for our Her Torah coming up on January 20th, because we're going to dive right into the new year with each other with some beautiful Torah. We just had a chance to meet with these teachers from all over the world, from Europe, from Israel, from America, from it's wild. This group is fantastic, and the idea of connecting with our sisters around the world and hearing the Torah that's holding them right now and what we need from each other, to hear each other's stories and each other's voices. So we'd love to be with you all. I am